following podcast is brought to you exclusively by the Rad Rob Radio Network. Welcome to Straight Up 5 with Johnny Petraglia Jr. A hard-hitting, in-depth, cutting-edge look into the world of bowling. This podcast will not only cover all things bowling, but will also give you a raw look into real-life issues. You'll get unfettered access into the mind of one of the most gifted bowlers of this or any other generation. So without further ado, let's introduce you to the hosts of the show. Rad Rob Francois. Rad Rob Francois. Dr. Ocho. And the incomparable Johnny Petraglia Jr.
Hey guys, welcome back to Straight Up 5 with Johnny Petraglia Jr. I'm your host, Rad Rob Francois. Joining me now is the man with the shiniest mask in the entire world. I usually used to say the shiniest mask in bowling, but since we can't limit Johnny to being the most beautiful man in bowling, Ocho has to be on the same level. So he has the shiniest mask in the entire world. He's also a recent father, which I don't know if that's good or bad. Good for him. Not sure for the kid, but we'll see what happens when she gets older. Dr. Ocho. Was that a good intro, buddy?
No. What do you mean you have to say that for Ocho about his shiniest mask in the world? Like, I deserve it. Not that you have to. It's the accolades are well deserved.
That's fair.
When did bowling get a world? When did the world is in the world of bowling? Like, when did bowling did we discover a new planet? Like, did Pluto become bowling or something? Like, what's this all about? Rad Rob. There he is. He knows.
Also joining us is the third member. He is number one in your program. It is the one and only, the handicapped, Johnny Petraglia Jr. What's up, Gimpy?
What's up, boys? That's a perfect intro for me because that's actually spot on as to how I'm feeling.
Pretty much.
Hence the lovely position I'm laying in right now.
He's
Hope
at
you enjoy all.
He's at a massage parlor right now. Don't hear nothing about that.
Enjoy all 6 of my chins, please.
Should we shout out what number 300 was it for Amel for what are we at now?
39,
428 or something.
Oh, I was off.
100 and something.
Hasn't really been that much. God bless him.
It's got to be. So, I mean, Amel shoots 300 every time I watch him throw a ball.
That's fair.
Or when he does 10 shots.
Yeah, totally.
So, and that's a comment. Well, I'm not speaking for him now. A while ago it was, and it's we fall prey to that at times.
Too rad
By the
for
way,
Stanley. Yes, that's right.
I gotta throw this out here real quick. If anybody's interested in starting a GoFundMe page, we have to start one. We have to start one for Rochelle because she has been catering to me like I'm a fucking toddler for these last 3 days. Well, last 4 years, but mainly these last.
Yeah. What
days.
changed over 3 days ago? Like, come on.
Yeah, exactly.
94 300s.
Oh, you suck. I thought it was way more than that. You know what? What a
horrible.
series you shot.
Come back to us when you have 100.
Christ, guy barely shoots a 7, and he's got a 300. Holy
Let's get
Christ.
the chat on the screen here. Dave Peakout says, "Feel better, Johnny."
Thanks, Dave. It's definitely going to be a work in progress.
So where do we send the food stamps to for Rochelle and you for the GoFundMe? Where does that go?
I'll have to have her put together that information for you, sir.
Okay, all right. We'll just give us your government ID number, and we'll forward all that to you. You get a bunch of cheese in the mail. You'll be good.
Susie's here. What candy? Bastard stole my candy. Anyway, so
He still got it, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, I'm still happy to be here at the show. That's for sure. I mean, certainly. Honestly, if y'all really want to know what happened, is I don't really know what happened. You guys know I weightlift. You know I bowl. You know I play golf, and it had been bothering me for a little bit. Nick, I'm actually telling everybody right now what happened. My lower back started hurting about a couple weeks ago, but it was never really bad enough for me to notice anything. And then Dave says, Dave, I'm laying flat on my ass on the floor on like 6 pillows. I wish I was fine. But what happened was I was going out to over the hump in Pahrump to play golf with David Haynes, my buddy Louie, my buddy Matt, and Pat. We actually played it as a fivesome. And that morning I woke up and I went to sit down to have my morning cigarette in the yard. And I had a hard time getting up. And I said, this ain't good. But I got there. I said, let me go hit some on the range, which I haven't been doing recently. And I went through the range just fine. It was like a 25 mile an hour gusts. So it was a tough playing condition as it was. It was a little chilly for Vegas. And I get up and I par the first hole into the wind. Everything is great. Second hole, come across one a little bit too hard, hit it off to the right, dead yank it. And I was driving the car. David Haynes is in the passenger seat, and I made it about halfway to our drives, and I just stopped the cart, and I jumped out of the cart, and it felt like I was just getting arrows shot at me, like the amount shot at the 300 Spartans, and just bang, bang, all the way from my upper left ass cheek all the way into the top of my left foot. And now I got 17 holes left of golf to play in 60 degrees with 20 mile an hour winds, and I didn't drive there. Not going to tell all the guys to leave, but it was very, very difficult to get through. And then obviously seeked out the proper medication needed to at least be able to deal with it, and doing exactly what the doctor said just now, staying off it for the way I feel these last 3 days, guys. If anybody's ever had sciatic nerve damage or anything, Oach, I would love for you to talk a little bit about what's going on here. But I said to Rochelle, I said, to me, I would assume this is the closest thing to childbirth for a man, because it's not like it hurts for 10 minutes and goes away. It just hurts all day, every day, like to a point that it makes me cry. It's embarrassing, but it's truthful at the same time. I mean, I'm even gonna have a cigarette in the house right now. I'm so miserable. But y'all are gonna make me real happy. Joe, Pomp, I came back to Vegas, man. The bugs and the cold and the humidity
and the Ocho.
2 months was enough for me. So I'm back here. Stan, I wish they were lewds, man. I wish they were lemon 740.
Life is spinning out of control. Seems the whole world is out to get you.
This is
exactly how it feels right now.
Yes.
This is true.
But
he had 17 holes left on the golf course, 17 holes from those arrows that were shot at him in his calf and his hamstring, everything. Like, this guy's a trooper, and he's here for straight up 5. Who would be here for this besides a freaking pro like this guy?
It's certainly, like I've said to you guys a million times before, it's the highlight of my week, especially when we get to be interactive with all of our listeners and fans. And obviously, hi Sherry, it's nice to be back. Good to see you, dear. And obviously, today is there are certain things that are bigger than physical ailments, and I thought the best way to I figured on a day like today of all days, it would be a good way to honor my late best friend, and best friend to at least 100, 200 other people that I can name quickly. Nick D'Ambrosio says, my degenerate disc disease and my lower lumbar destroyed me. Sciatica never through both legs. Do you know what that says? Oh, like, I don't know anything about
his everything flattened out, so the nerve's getting compressed. Like we were saying, like the nerve doesn't know what's hitting. It doesn't know if it's disc, doesn't know if it's bone, doesn't know if it's muscle. It just knows to lose. So he said never through both legs. So that's remnants of you, since yours is your lefty, and maybe that's like God punishing you for bowling lefty or something. Is that possible? Because I don't know anything about this stuff.
Maybe they said, you average 272 for one tournament.
Yeah,
where we're gonna give
and then
you
we're gonna take you down a peg or two, right?
We want you to bask in this glory, because if you go out and bowl the next tournament and go 60 under, you're gonna completely forget about how well you bowled last week, and you're gonna be a miserable fuck again. I think that's what
he had threw both his legs. All right, yeah. So he had it basically right in the middle, whereas yours is kicked off the side a little bit.
Yeah, mine's all on the left, Nick. It's Dave, I missed you too, man. It crushes me to not be at league, dude. You know that as well as anybody.
Well, listen, there's a big difference. Hold on now. Now I will jump in for a second. People have sciatica is just it's a loose term. It means compression of the sciatic nerve. Sciatica is pretty much made up. It means that the nerve's inflamed, but there's so many different levels that there can be inflamed. It can be preferred. It could be radiating, but the compression level is also different, where you can get a lightning bolt through your back, through your ass cheek, down to your foot, and you drop to your knees like it's nobody's business. And it will tell you who the boss is. You're going to go, all right, I'm going to get up right now. And your sciatic nerve's going to go to fuck you are. You ain't going nowhere, son. So
exactly.
People have had it, and even constantly, and it's still there, and there's remnants. But right now we're talking about a full-on flare-up, and like full-on flare-up.
Got it. By the way, am I crackling, or do I sound okay to you guys?
You're fine. Ocho's crackling a little bit.
Come on, it's brand new shit. What are you talking about? I got the Ranger game
said
on the
that.
back.
You said that 3 weeks ago.
I don't know if it's your connection.
Susie,
no, it's Rob. It's Rob. I heard it. It was Rob. Fuck him.
Susie says you need to crack her back to her early 20s because she's almost bionic.
Ocho's bionic.
That's true.
Let's get this straight.
Well, anyway, I wanted to at least open and say happy birthday to my late brother, one of my groomsmen in my wedding in 2013, Michael Marcus. Happy birthday in heaven, my friend. I was a little late to the party today. I'm never really good with birthday dates, but like I said at the top of the show, there's so many people that man touched while he was on this earth. And, my Facebook scroll was obviously full of all those people making mention of just really one of the most remarkable people that's ever walked the planet. And I promised myself I wouldn't get too emotional over it. But if anybody wants to tell a funny or a happy Mike story or anything along those lines or anything, please feel free to throw it up in the chat and we will gladly read it. But until those come in, guys, what's up? Obviously, I haven't been bowling. How you guys doing?
I'm not bowling either, so that makes two of us.
How about you, Dr. Ocho?
The fuck is bowling?
Well, it has its own world.
Maybe. Oh, that's true. Apparently, maybe because it's spherical like a bowling ball. Yeah, I'm still bowling on the big red wiffle bat machine. That's all. Still just throwing up 700s left and right. Much like
What's
my
up, JJ?
bench press, much like my bowling score, much like Rob's cholesterol level. I mean, it's all the same shit nowadays. Rob, they missed it last week, so I threw it in there now.
He's not wrong.
Go ahead, Rob. Sorry, that's the little one outside on a bike. Shocker.
He's not wrong.
Dude, that's awesome.
Well, you could at least put one up, Suze. Doesn't matter. It's this entire show's inappropriate. Come on.
That's fair.
Our dream, the boat. Come on.
He's right about that. Johnny, did you see that Daniel McEwen won gold at the Pan Am?
I did not see that. Congratulations to Danielle. That's fantastic and awesome. Although it's extremely expected. I watched a couple of her highlight videos of her practicing at High Tour with the new Storm stuff, and Danielle's just a robot, man. She's so fantastic. She's such a fantastic bowler. I remember a long time ago when she was still bowling for Fairleigh Dickinson, Erica Perez, or now Erica Kreitz, was the anchor of the team at that time. And shortly thereafter, I had gone and practiced with Danielle at High Tour Lanes. And I remember at that time, I was feeling really, really good about my bowling game. I thought everything was like going great. And she had put out a pattern on 1 and 2, and we got there. And I think I struck maybe 2 times in the first 20, 25 shots. And I don't think she missed more than twice. And in that moment, I said, wow, I'm not good. Like, I'm not good at all. Like, this is, I'm horrible at this sport. But,
skill,
kudos to her, whatever. But kudos to her and congrats on gold. John Sparone, go ahead.
No. Go ahead.
John Sparone says he wants to wish Joe Scianna a speedy recovery from open heart surgery. I had no idea that Scianna had open heart surgery. John, please private message me at some point and let me know how he's doing. One of the greatest action bowlers and bowlers in general of all time. Wish him a speedy recovery for sure.
Did you see that they introduced something for the PBA League next summer? They're going to have the inaugural league championship, national championship in Wisconsin next summer. So that gives people an extra incentive that are part of PBA leagues to bowl well and get invited to the national tournament. So that's really cool. I mean, I wish USBC would be more proactive like that, but
it's good to see them doing something to try and merge the different levels of the skill.
Yeah.
Is that better, Big Red Wiffle Bat? The first?
Never thought it would ever take that. I already won. That was it. That's all I needed. I'm out.
You got all you needed. Yeah,
that's hilarious.
But anyway, so I think that's actually a fantastic idea to get more engagement into the sport and let the eyes see it at more of a pinnacle level. Like, hey, you really can do this, and now here's your opportunity to do just that. By the way, we didn't say hi to Cheeks. Hi, Cheeks.
What's up, Jake?
My favorite person. My favorite name ever.
At least Ocho still lives there. Here's our buddy Frankie. Do you know the story of Thanksgiving week in Vernon Hills? Frank, why don't you open with Thanksgiving week in Vernon Hills? Because that is a Marcus story that I do not know. Kim Sharl wants somebody.
She wants Ocho, probably.
Is most likely Rad Rob.
No. That guy. No.
Who do you want?
I'm married.
Ocho, you want
Ocho's
the cripple or you want this dude?
They're getting bigger. That's one of the biggest problems I'm having, man, is I haven't been to the gym in a week and I'm
It's because
dying.
I'm carrying my baby around all the time, doing little Gabriella curls, man. That's right. Yeah, that's all right. You got it. Now you have to be a mom too. So
those look more like Robert Mustard curls. Although you do have nice wings, very nice wings.
God bless Robert Mustard.
I really want to know this.
Oh,
this
from
Vernon
last
Hills
week.
story
I
from
forgot
Frank.
about him. Sorry,
How
guys.
could you forget about Robert Muster?
I made up the name. Well,
Muster.
I think to somebody, right? Like I forget. I'm sure he's a special fella.
Let's
get him on the show.
18 900s, 2 of them sanctioned. Let's go.
Oh, that's right. The guy that cheats all the time. Right.
There you go. You got it. Exactly. Ironically, Oach, you were asking me about the position I'm in.
Yeah.
I have my feet fanned inwards. Like this
toed
way.
in?
Toed in. So it's
that's
actually
internal rotate. That's opposite of what you were doing before.
Well, when I'm laying on my stomach, it goes the other way. But when I'm laying this way, I got to keep the pressure off the outside.
That's what I was talking to her about, which was a little bit of ass backwardsness. So, that does jive. All right. I'm off the clock, man. Screw this. Let's get to the world of bowling and be unfettered.
Yesterday they announced. Sorry, Johnny. Yesterday they announced the nominees for the Chris Schenkel Player of the Year. They nominated Dom Barrett, Jason Belmonte, Chris Prather, Simo, EJ Tackett, and Kyle Troop. So, Johnny, out of all of those, which they're all fantastic bowlers, given what you saw in 2022, who do you think should take the Player of the Year?
Give me the names again.
Dom Barrett.
You're going to say Prather.
Belmo, Prather, Simo, Tackett, and Troop.
Oh, maybe you won't.
I can't say Troop because even though he defended the playoffs, I don't think he had as competitive a year as the other guys did. If I recall correctly, I think that Simo is the U.S. Open champion. Correct. I think Dom Barrett won the TSC.
Actually, Simo won the U.S. Open and the Masters.
Belmo, what did he win this year?
Belmo won. God, he was 20-4 in championship round appearances. He had 5 titles in 2022.
Were any of them majors?
He won his 14th major at the PBA Players to open the season.
I mean,
five titles.
That's a tough one, man. That's a tough one. I mean, if you win 2 majors in a single season, that's usually Player of the Year worthy. But if you go 20-4 in televised finals and you win 5 titles and one of them is a major, I don't care if it's retroactive or not.
Right.
I mean, that's like Stephanie just said, Dom did complete the Triple Crown this year, which less than 10 people have actually done.
Yep.
There's a lot of underlying things there. So this is one of those years that whoever they pick, as long as they back it up with a little bit of substance, I'm pretty much on board with anybody they pick. I don't think EJ is deserving of it, and I don't think Kyle is deserving of it simply because of what we just mentioned about Dom, Belmo, and Simo. So I personally think that numbers say it should go to Belmo, but feet says that it kind of could also go to Simo. But then again, the tiebreaker is going to be, well, Belmo won 3 additional times, and he also won a major, and there's only 4 majors available. So I'm going to have to go and out on a limb here and say that they're going to give it to Belmo. How about you guys?
I agree. I think it should be Belmo just based on he was dominant, for most of the year. And I wish the season was longer because there were some hot bowlers. I mean, Prather won the PBA World Championship. He was runner-up at the TOC.
That's another one that
he had the hot start. That's why I said you were going to call Prather, but then when he reread him, I thought you were going to call Simo, actually. So
I totally forgot about throwing Prather in the mix there. He's another one that, he just bowled absolutely tremendously, and he will continue to bowl tremendously. But like Chris just said, again, this is going to be one that I don't know, man. The numbers say Belmo, but there's so many tough candidates in there. Sherry said it's a tough call. I agree with Sherry. It's a tough call.
Kind of hard to have a wrong answer or a right answer, I reckon.
Prather should get nice guy of the year. Like if they had a Walter Payton Man of the Year award, like they do in football, if they had a humanitarian of the year.
He also was in the finals of every freaking event too, wasn't he? Like he made every freaking televised
pretty much
television.
He's such a nice guy. Like literally, he's just getting nice guy of the year every year.
And one of the best talents the game.
That's what Parker's always voted as, right? The Lady Bing, in hockey.
Yeah, it's
the Lady Bing.
Do they have it used to be called the Steve Nagy Sportsmanship Award. I'm not sure if it still is, but Parker's been the recipient 4 times. Ryan Schaefer won it twice. It's always
Steve Nagy.
He's a bowler that was pretty dominant, I want to say, in the 1940s and 50s. Maybe
so
a little bit later.
He was a super swell guy, I guess, and that's
he was a perfect gentleman. He was like Dick Weber. All right, Rob, why don't you read our first Mike Marcus story from our good buddy Frank Cianella.
Next to Hawthorne Lanes, if you are familiar, was a place called Whirlyball. It's a bar that has every bar game possibly known to man: cornhole, darts, etc. We were there for the CLR. I don't know why that was so hard to say. The CLR Windy City Classic. Shut up, Ojo. To bowl the PTQ. After the PTQ that night, we went along with Todd Book, and I forgot who else. We decided to play Whirlyball, which is riding in a golf cart and trying to get a wiffle bat into a net. Sorry, wiffle ball into a net.
Christ.
Shut the. We decided to play Whirlyball, which is riding in a golf cart and trying to get a wiffle ball into a net, boxed into the backboard. Michael, of course, says he isn't wearing a seatbelt. Drink in hand, tries to ram someone with the cart, flies out of it, and didn't spill a sip. What a great night.
That's vintage Mike.
That's impressive, man.
Jesus. That's vintage Mike.
Those are bottom heavy, so the top goes flying, man. Holy shit.
Whenever Mike, myself would be in line getting, say, I don't know, whether we were in line for Starbucks or picking up a pizza somewhere where you pay and they say, and what's the name on the order? Mike would always say one of 2 names. He would either say Gunther, or he would say Stanley with a C. Those are, and I guess I'm rattling off the look on all of the servers' faces when he would say that, because what, at that point, what do you say? Like, okay, which letter is the C? Does it start with a C? Does it anyway? That's one thing I've always remembered about Mike. But that's a great story. I remember the Whirlyball story.
That's awesome.
I didn't actually know this Whirlyball story. So thanks for bringing that one up, Frank.
I miss Whirlyball. Yeah, that was a big thing.
I never heard of it, but now I'm stealing a joke. So
yeah, for sure. Harry Golden PBA rookie of the year nominees. And I don't know who these guys are.
Harry Balls, what did you just say?
Harry Golden Goose.
Oh, Jesus Christ. This guy's got marbles in his mouth, for crying out loud.
Oh, come on, Rob.
I hate you. I hate you. The Harry Golden PBA Rookie of the Year nominees are Kevin McCune, Brandon Runk, David Stouffer, and Santu Tahavinen.
I'm going with Stouffer's because their mac and cheese is the best, so he's going to win.
It's really good. Their meatloaf is good, too.
It is. Got ketchup on it almost.
The first one that you said. I forgot the name already.
Kevin McCune.
That one. That's Rookie of the Year.
He's the son and grandson of champions on the PBA Tour. He led Rookie of the Year contenders in games bowled, 227, while averaging 211.23. His 16th place finish in the U.S. Open, where he averaged 212 across 56 games of the season's most demanding lane conditions, marked the highlight of his rookie campaign.
Yeah, he also destroyed the Peterson, which I know it's not a PBA event, but he shot 1770 at the Peterson. That's like averaging 290 in league. It's unheard of. And he's consistently at every single event he bowls, he's somewhere near the top. The kid just flat out knows how to bowl. I mean, Eugene McCune was raw talent. I mean, Eugene could swing the seventh arrow and he could throw 25-mile-an-hour flames up the crack and do it like nobody's business. Kevin McCune can do both of those things, and he's also extremely effective at playing the middle of the lane. David Stouffer, good bowler. I understand why he was in the running. He did make a show. I remember him making a show because he's contracted on our staff, and he's also the first pro I've seen since like 2002 make a TV show and not wear his name on his back. I remember seeing him and saying, "Oh, I don't know who this guy is." And then when he turned around, it didn't say his name on his back. And I'm like, shit, this is the first time ever in bowling that I don't know a bowler's name and I can't read it on his shirt. So automatically, I can't take him as Rookie of the Year. And Santu had a couple solid weeks, and Norm Duke selected him to be a Dallas striker in the PBA league because Norm's quirky like that, man. Norm finds something that he likes and Norm takes it, doesn't care about anything, you know? And usually his gut's right. So no knocking Santu, but I don't think he had nearly the consistent games, tournaments bowled, and high enough finishes that I've seen coming from Kevin. And Brandon Runk, fantastic lefty from back home, one of the most accurate players I've ever seen. Unfortunately, I also don't think that his rookie season matches up to a Kevin McCune's. So those are going to be my pick for player of the year is going to be Belmo, and my pick for rookie of the year is going to be Kevin McCune. And if they still have a Steve Nagy Sportsmanship Award, that one is still very, very difficult for me because there's a lot of really, really nice guys out on tour, and there's also a lot of guys on tour that are really quiet that you don't know are nice, i.e. what Oach said. Chris Prather is one of the quietest people I've ever seen or ever met, but every single word out of his mouth is usually something genuine or something nice. He always puts his hand out for anybody he's bowling with. He gets pumped up for his own faults, and he gets pumped up for his own execution. He never throws shit in anybody's face or anything along those lines. So, Sherry, there was controversy earlier on at the Peterson this year. There was another competitor that I believe shot something like 200 over.
It was stupid,
and what they did was, because they indirectly put out the wrong oil pattern for the event, they created a separate prize list for the people that bowled that squat. So they would get placed accordingly.
We talked about this, didn't we?
Remember that?
Oh, I do remember that. Yeah, you bet your ass I do.
Right. So, but Kevin actually on the real pattern went out and shot 170 over for 8, which is absolutely unheard of. It usually takes 1620 to 1660 to win that event, and that event gets more entries than anything else. I mean, it's a crazy event that every single person bowls at least once, you know. But that was the controversy, and I'm assuming that they got it all figured out because Kevin was the undisputed champion of the Peterson this year.
You know, my take for my pick for the nice guy of the year award should be Sean Rash. He's a super nice guy.
You know,
I get it.
He's Sean's been doing great lately. I mean, he put on a really nice showing with Jimmy Allen at the Celebrity League or at the PBA League. I actually found that one rather enjoyable to watch this year. I thought that the introduction of Bella Love Castillo and her awesome talent at 13 years old is just fantastic. It's amazing to see a young lady throwing it two-handed. It's absolutely awesome to me, and she's powerful and awesome. I thought the final four in the actual clash as far as the celebrities was a perfect mix. I always love watching Nelly bowl, and Jimmy Allen is talented enough and well-spoken enough to enjoy. I'm going to be honest and say I never heard of the guy, probably because I'm not into country music. But then I found out he won a Grammy for like newest up and comer.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, so now there's really a reason why I should know him. He's a brand new country artist. Okay. I don't have that station on in my car, but certainly love him. Will listen to his music specifically because I love that he loves the sport that we all love. Hannibal Buress makes me laugh just looking at him.
Yeah.
He's
Just
a
looking
funny
at
dude.
him. He makes
is
me
funny.
laugh.
He's just a funny dude.
And obviously T.O. loves bowling, and I mean he's just a friggin' physical specimen
Ain't he
to
thumbless
look at.
too?
Nah, he puts it into the first joint. I mean, his
Oh.
span is like 6.5
Dude,
inches.
he literally can palm the damn thing. Like he doesn't need finger holes or a thumb hole.
Yeah, I don't know why he lays the one thumb in there. I honestly think that his rev rate would be higher if he didn't, and I also
It'll be
think that
triple if he just put his fingers in it.
yeah, and I also think his ball roll would be a little bit more consistent also.
I agree.
But going back to Sean actually winning the Steve Nagy Sportsmanship Award winner, or winning the award for sportsmanship recipient, no, that's not my pick. That would not be my pick.
I will say this: Rash and Jimmy Allen are actually like on tour doing different charity events coming up this winter, and they're actually coming to the Smyrna Bowling Center, which I blasted last week. Yeah, so I'm looking forward. I think it's in December. I'm going to go to that.
What was it,
and
the bowling
see if it's a
alley
good
that you
turnout.
blasted, or was it the US?
It was the bowling. Well, I mean, it was kind of
just
everybody, but it was really the
yeah.
bowling alley. Like the bowling alley is responsible for getting people in the door. So,
Are they?
but Johnny had a
Well-
good, counter argument to that as well.
No, right.
So,
It
I
was
mean,
about how much money they could possibly lose for.
But
the
here's the thing.
I
and
really
I'm-
was trying to figure out who really would accept the blame for that. I wasn't
Right.
me just being Ocho and smarter than everybody.
I'm gonna toot Sean's horn here a little bit because Sean is excellent when it comes to charity events, especially with kids. And if the bowling alley in Smyrna, Tennessee, or any other bowling alleys that they're going to, aside from the obvious following that Jimmy Allen has, Sean is excellent at attracting fans, especially for these types of events, and he's excellent at doing it. I will certainly be the first person to say that Sean is prime candidate for an event like that because he's excellent at it. He's always been excellent at it. And he's still huge. He's always in the limelight. He's one of the biggest stars the tour has ever seen, not just in our generation. So it is important, especially with his following for both the pros and the cons throughout all the years. People take to that shit. They don't necessarily need somebody who's always right down the middle, who's completely straight edge. They want somebody who's a little funky. Case in point, Pete Weber.
Right.
I mean, there are some guys that do it with straight talent that, like, God, I could watch this guy bowl forever because his talent is there. But then there's guys like Pete Weber, who's nuts. There's guys like Norm Duke who know how to play to the crowd in every frame and there's guys like Robert Smith who throw the ball so beautifully and so powerfully that you can't take your eyes off of it. Everybody has their own little niche at that level. There's very few guys that are just excellent at bowling that don't really bring anything else to the table. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, like, I'll give you a prime example. One of the best bowlers I've ever seen bowl is Dave Arnold. You guys know who Dave Arnold is?
Mm-hmm.
Of course we do.
Not many people would ever say Dave Arnold is one of the best bowlers ever. He was self-taught, never had a coach, never spoke above a whisper, never fist pumped on television, never got mad. He kind of just showed up, went through his nonchalant, pretty motion to the foul line, and walked off the lanes. So like, hey, Dave Arnold won. Mike Scroggins is another one. Mike Scroggins is one of the most talented bowlers the sport's ever seen. You never see a large percentage of people saying, oh, we want to see Mike Scroggins in the Motel 6 Roll to Riches. No, they want to see Norm Duke. They want to see Parker. They want to see Pete. They want to see Barnes. So I think kind of what makes that it factor is something all those guys possess.
It's the it factor is what it is. Weren't we supposed to get some inappropriate stories going? What happened, man? I thought there was
I think Susie's chickening out for some reason, but there's got to be some. But Adam Wolf says, happy birthday, Mike Marcus, strike it rich forever. Oh, and I'm just going to take this off right now and just show it to everybody because it hasn't come off since I got it. There is Team Strike It Rich. And in the words of our good friend Mike Marcus, we'll see you this year. Hang on. Suck it, Reno.
Suck it, Reno.
Oh, man.
I love it. Are you a little surprised that, we're going into November now and the tour typically starts in January and they haven't announced their tournament schedule yet?
Say that again. I was reading Frank's comment that says "Suck it, Reno."
Suck it, Reno. I said we're pretty close to November, and the tour typically starts in January, and they haven't announced their schedule for next year yet. So, are you a little surprised by that?
Honestly, no, because I don't really typically find out about it until somebody else tells me about it.
Thanks, JJ.
Thanks, JJ. I'll see you as soon as possible, bro. I don't know how long I'm out for, but I'm getting used to being at the miniature poodle's height these last 3 days, and it's a totally different world.
Depends on what the GoFundMe establishes and how many food stamps you get.
Oh, that's true.
So Rob, I don't really know about the release.
Shouldn't people know about that though? Like, if anything, it's still I mean, we know when the Masters is, not of golf, but I know that's a big difference. But we know that in golf, the Southern Swing, we know Hawaii opens up the season in January. So like, let's get the show on the road, man.
I'm gonna try and say that last name. Pete Schmielecki says he doesn't think the ladies have announced yet either. So that it could very well.
I think it's Chmielewski.
Did you just do a Rocky reference?
What? No.
Smeal mainly? Can you read that, Rock?
Yeah, it's just the cue cards. The dude thing smells like a man. I say absolutely no way. I say absolutely no way. This doesn't smell like a man.
We need to start doing Rocky on the retro show. We have to.
This whole thing here ain't right.
That bum. That bum.
I got it. Chmielewski.
Oh, so it's not Smeal mainly? Damn, I was.
Come on, man! You're an East Coaster. You should know all these German and Polish names and all that shit.
I thought it was close. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
But you called him like Schmeg
I think it's
or
a
something like
badass
that.
name.
Like, that's awful. That's terrible. You were like, who, Schmeg Malecki or something?
That's a good one to add. I usually do that without the sound. Now we actually have it on the board. That's fantastic.
You went over the amount.
What else you have in the world of PBA question-wise, Rad Rob? Or was that your lineup?
That's pretty much it, man. Yeah, there's not much going on right now, so that's why. I mean, look,
we can blame Susie for the bad show.
We can,
right?
we can. I mean,
totally.
I kind of blasted the PBA last week for not advertising, local events, but can you blast them for not properly advertising their tour schedule yet? I mean, unless they're trying to add dates or finalize it, it's pretty much the same things every year, right? You start off with the players.
The only thing that I can really blast is I don't. What's up, Kev? I don't know. I don't know if it's their fault or not, but okay. I'm going to use this only as an example because I fucking hate politics, but I'm going to use this as an example. Every single commercial on television right now with the midterms coming up is one side bashing the other side, whether it be for governor or attorney general, whatever the hell they're running for, right? But it's right there in your face. Like what Kevin just said, Brzezowski says they don't promote shit. All those political ads that we see, we know they cost money. We know they cost extra money. So you never, ever, ever see a PBA bowling commercial on network television ever, unless it's during the hour-and-a-half show that it's on. There may be one or two. So that's one main issue, is that their lack of funds to promote the sport. They're trying to focus all of their energy on paying higher dollars but they never actually let people know about it other than the majors,
Right.
So I do think that their lack of finances is one of the reasons why they lack promotions. We talked about this with the golf. I mean, the PBA doesn't have Mercedes-Benz and Workday and NetJets and all these other massive billion-dollar corporations.
They had Denny's, I think, right?
They had Denny's as a title sponsor for however many years until Denny's said this is not making us money. But even then, they only had the Denny's commercials. They had Denny's commercials running on the PBA telecasts, which were being aired on a station that the PBA had to pay money every single week just to be on for an hour and a half.
Dude, I'm picturing a political commercial of the PBA going, the PBA would never take your balls off the rack and then check them for softness like the USBC. How bad is the USBC? And then the USBC doing something back to the PBA. The USBC would never put really bright lights up to mess up the oil pattern in the finals. You got to just... kind of cracking myself up with this.
That's what I
know
mean.
it's dumb.
And
but they're supposed to be they're not supposed to be at odds either. So that's the other thing.
We've had like Stephen Kevin is saying, we've had Denny's, we've had Lumber Liquidators. There was a period where, Bud Light sponsored the ABC Masters. There was a year that that Seagram's Coolers in 1988 paid $100,000 for the U.S. Open. Brunswick used to sponsor the Tournament of Champions with Bayer. I mean,
Lit Fire Open and Erie.
Firestone. I mean, General Tire for 1 year. There's
Frank
always
Diddy
been
wrote another
somebody.
story, by the way. So just to give you a heads up.
Yeah, let's put a pin in this. Let's put a pin in this for a second. We'll get back to it. I do want to.
Well, I just wanted to tell Kevin that, Kevin, I don't know if they don't care, dude. I just know that in today's world, with the amount of outreach that they could have on social media, that they could, it's a shame that they don't say, look, we got to find an extra $1 million to air something somewhere. Like, for instance, if this league thing is going to allow league bowlers to go out and bowl leagues and bowl against the pros for $200,000, I'm pretty sure you'd get an extra 1 million members if they knew, well, shit, I only average 180, but that's good enough with my handicap to allow me the opportunity to do this and make 4 times, 5 times my salary in one day. Fuck yeah, I'm going to try this.
It'd be the Happy Gilmore effect, right?
Right, exactly.
I promise you, I just figured it out. I swear to God, I just figured it out. I'm right there because I'm Ocho. I'm Dr. Ocho. I'm smarter than a lot of people.
Yes.
Why don't they freaking handicap it and put it on the damn gambling websites? Besides the fact that it's usually tape delayed by a month, but still, so is cricket sometimes in Abu Dhabi, and I'll still gamble on that shit.
Me too.
Why can't they get on the damn betting websites? Who's going to run the table and then have odds on each one, a plus 400, a plus 200. Dude, when you start doing that, when people start making money on them, that's what fucking sports is about. Us chuckleheads trying to make money on them.
They do it on Fox Sportsbook Bet, and they do it on the ladder on the TV show. Like, it'll say, let's say Rash is the leader and AJ Johnson's the 5th seed. They'll put AJ Johnson at plus 1,200. And then they'll put Rash at minus 200 as the leader. And then
who does, though? Is it handicapped, or are they doing that? Like, is that literally on the...
They show it on the shows. I don't 100% know, but it says Fox Sports Bet. So I don't know.
Okay, maybe it is. All right, well, that's... All right, then...
Well, then they need to work out a program with, FanDuel or something like that.
They got to start with that. I'm telling you, as soon as they get that going... And especially now with all these different things they got with this, the March Madness gimmick thing, that's... Now you're really talking adding some money in the damn thing.
Yeah, it'd be cool if they ran a congruent March Madness bowling tournament. Like at the start of the NCAA basketball tournament, the top 64 bowlers by power rankings automatically get seeded into a tournament based off their power ranking. Because let's say at the beginning of March, because the tour season starts in January, let's say the leader in PBA power rankings is Jason Sterner. Jason Sterner is definitely supposed to be in the top 10, but currently he's not supposed to be ranked number 1, right? Belmo is, Simo is, Prather is, right? So there's a chance that off that power ranking system that maybe match 1 will be Santu, Tavnanian, and Nafanian against Jason Sterner. Maybe that'll be number 1 versus number 64. Maybe number 2 will be Chris Prather, and number 63 will be Parker Bone because he had a couple good weeks and 5 really crappy weeks because he's a senior.
And didn't bowl or something in some of them, right?
And then you introduce it like that. That way they get to meet 64 professionals in one event. And now they're interested in shit, I have money on the bowling. So now that bowling is on at noon in between the 10 a.m. games, does football still going in March?
No.
No, fuck.
Christ.
All right, sorry, stupid.
Oh,
so in between the two,
Walter Ray.
we're talking about NCAA. In between the 2 basketball games that are playing today, let me flip on Fox because I've got I don't know, AJ Johnson in my bracket.
In your brackets. See, I just solved the freaking bowling world, the whole world's problem. The whole world of bowling's problem. I solved it right here, straight up 5. Plug this show, freaking rad, Rob. Plug it, keep plugging it, replug it, plug it in, take it out, put it in the surge protector, and then unplug it and reset the plug.
Here's the other problem. I do totally agree. If you get bowling involved in betting, more people will watch bowling, hands down. I would watch ping pong if I was betting on it. And
Dude,
you can
can
bet
watch
on ping
freaking
pong.
chess if you got
Dude,
300
Ocho-
bucks on it.
You could bet on marble racing. I work for DraftKings. You could bet on marble racing if you
Ocho
want.
bets on
Yeah.
badminton.
Yeah,
That's
you can do
Well,
all of
like
that. And you
Carl von
can't bet on
Schwiener
bowling.
is the best badminton player in the world, and you could take him
Ever.
even at
Yes.
an even plus 100.
Here's one thing I have heard. I
This
have
guy
heard
knows.
He knows.
that, yeah, Sperone's a smart boy. He knows. Do you think a fear lies in the respect that bowling is too intimate and doesn't make enough money? For instance, in baseball, you're not going to go tell Mike Trout, hey, make sure you strike out 4 times tonight and I'll give you a handsome reward.
I get what you're saying.
But
Would it
you
be
can-
fixed, basically?
You can go up to David Stouffer and say, hey, this is your rookie year. I know you stand to make $25,000 if you win these next 2 matches. But I'm telling you right now, if you lose your first match to EJ, I'll give you $100,000.
Good.
That
Good.
it can exist in
Yes.
bowling or any sport where it's that intimate with the player. I personally
Hold
think. I may not be right. Go ahead. Sorry.
You guys have seen The Color of Money, right?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe.
Paul
Yes.
Newman and Tom Cruise playing
Yes,
billiards, man.
yes.
And Cruz put a bet on the finals or his match against Paul Newman, and he threw the match and made them both a bunch of money. And Newman was pissed because he wanted to win on his own merit. So that's pretty much the same scenario, right?
Dude, how about Big Earn McCracken?
And yes, Steve, it is a crime.
What's her name's fiance bet on Earn McCracken instead of Roy, but then she took the money. So
Well, that's just shitty.
That's true.
Oh,
Well,
Stephanie has a Mike Marcus story before we get too far off here.
Yes, we have a couple actually, but
we have a few. Yeah, no. All right, it's...
Hey, Mike Val's in the house. What's up, shitface?
Yeah, we can bet that the next ball review before we get to Steph's question is going to be this ball is a must-have in your bag. It is super clean through the front, crazy heavy through the mid lane with a strong continuous motion on the back end. This ball is a must-have for this week of this year.
I'm assuming he's talking about Belmo because Belmo just reviewed the new Storm Fate.
No, I'm assuming he's talking about any review that anybody ever
I've
posts.
never watched a ball
on
review, and I'm
social
sure
media.
that's probably what are they going to say? This ball sucks my freaking dick hole.
A must in my. There it is. Go to Stephanie's Mike question because it is Mike's birthday, and I want to make sure that.
And then there's another dude below her.
Yes,
not
correct.
that he blew her, but
Actually, he's above her now. But
below me.
Right on.
Mike bet on Australian rugby or some stupid shit when the world was shut down due to COVID.
Yes.
I don't even see that's a story. I had to do ping
Our
pong,
big
fucking like that shit like that.
True.
Yeah, when I was still at Caesars, I remember during the quarantine, we had a lot of bettors on Japanese baseball and we had a lot of bettors on ping pong. And I had this one horrendously pissed off customer that had called me and said, "Where the fuck is the in play for ping pong?" And I'm sitting there saying, "In play for ping pong? How is that even possible?" It's amazing, this shit. And that just goes to show you there's certain things in this lifetime that no matter how bad the economy or the world gets, people will always do. And drink and gamble are numbers 1 and 2.
That's true.
100% hands down. 2 things people will always do, regardless if we're entering another recession. And of course he bet ping pong too. Of course he did, Mike.
It's big in China.
Fuck.
Frank Diddy said Michael was bowling the midnight marathon at Carolier. Frank went along for the ride with him and his girlfriend at the time. He made it to the ladder and he got done around 7 a.m. They got in the car and his girlfriend fell asleep. There was adult junior doubles tournament in Danville, PA that morning. He goes, "You want to go?" I said, "She's going to kill you." He goes, "Nah, fuck that. She's sleeping. Her choice is irrelevant." Needless to say, we went, we won, and she didn't speak to Michael for a week. That's fantastic.
That's when Mike.
How'd he do in the
do
tournament?
something-
I wonder if he wins the tournament, she'll talk to him. So he must not have done that good.
No, they did win. He said they both
shit.
won. Yeah. Way to pay attention, Note. Good job.
If
I'm
Mike
watching
wanted
the
to
game.
do something, Mike did something. That's for sure.
That's what Ocho does too.
Hell yeah. I remember one day I always had this thing for picking roulette numbers whenever I would frequently stay at Mike's house for weeks at a time, actually. And I remember all of us walking into Mohegan Sun in Pocono Downs. I think that's where it is. And we had walked in. We were going to eat at my favorite restaurant. It's called it's not called the Rusty Chicken, but that's what I always called it, the Rusty Chicken. And Mike never let me live it down. It's something like the Rusty Chicken. Anybody that's been there knows what I'm talking about.
Probably like Popeyes or something like that. And he's like, yeah, it's a Rusty Chicken. I'm close to it.
And like Frank says to me, Mike turns around, we're sitting there, and I go, Mike, that roulette table, 13 and 31. He goes, right now? Thank you, Steph. Rustic Kitchen.
Chicken kitchen, St. Rusty.
Yeah, there was a lot of moving parts, but the pieces were there. Don't worry.
I go 13 and 31 on that table. He goes, right now? I go, next spin. Go. He goes, what? Two a spot? I go, 2, 10 a spot. Right on him. And it came out for 31. So he wound up.
You're playing palindromes on the freaking roulette table without even seeing the repeat numbers, dude. Holy shit.
That's Rain Man shit right there.
Steve Rogland, why did you pick a winning roulette numbers on our trip to see LaBouche? I didn't want to tell my parents that me and Steve were going down to Atlantic City to gamble. I was maybe 21. So I told them that we were going to see a LaBouche concert. It was the first band that I thought of. I don't know why, but that's fantastic.
I never heard of it. I thought it was a car.
Go listen to Be My Lover by LaBouche. I guarantee you've heard the song.
Be my lover, won't you be my lover?
It's a sensational
that's a great song. This dude's on. Let's get some shit going, Rob. Don't get copyright calls, though.
Of all the bands, yeah. That's what I said at the time. Kevin, I used to wear red and lilac suits to bowl league. I dressed up as Snow White and stuffed softballs in my mother's bra. Of course I'm gonna pick LaBouche.
Jesus Christ. There's so many one-hit wonders that I know the songs, but would never guess in a million years with a gun to my head who sang them. So I mean, that's a pretty obscure reference to me.
Well,
I assume that was their only song too, because that's the one you brought up.
I liked the chick on the cover. There was a pretty chick with braids, and then the guy that was bald. But I thought the chick with braids on the cover was. I have no clue. You want to pull up a picture of the LaBouche?
Come on, Rob. Pull up freaking Shia LaBeouf.
I don't think there's
Shia LaBeouf on the show and see what's going on.
This is what you get on Straight Up 5. Johnny Jr. and Steve Rogland talking about gambling and going to a LaBouche concert.
Don't make him laugh too hard because he's going to get a zinger.
And Chris, Leslie, it's nice to see you back in Vegas. I'm sorry we haven't spoke recently, but are you bowling again now that I'm incapacitated? Fantastic. Awesome.
What happened to the chick that wanted me before? Where'd she go?
Maybe she's trying to private message you.
Maybe.
They're really getting bigger. I'm very impressed.
I
always thought that's her. That's not the cover of the CD, but
it's not. Okay.
I always thought that she was just stunning. I thought she was beautiful.
Oh, wait, hold on. I found it. Hold on.
It was the braids that did it for me, and I think I remember like her lipstick was like smacking really good. Like it was like really bright.
Jesus Christ!
It's amazing the shit I remember and the shit I forget. That's closer to the cover, but it's still not it.
Oh, for fuck's sake! Fine.
It's close. that might be it. Anyway, yeah, I thought she was great. So that was the first band I thought of in the heat of lying to my mother.
The fact that you knew the band's name, though, like that's the band. Like even still, knowing the song is one thing. Like you even said it.
Odds are,
I
probably went to a birthday party, maybe like a Sweet 16 or something, and like. I heard it playing, and I'm like, "Shit, this song's got a nice beat. Who is this?"
And you were 21 at a Sweet 16 party. That's a little creepy too.
Or I just remembered it. Like I remember.
I gotcha.
I was telling Rochelle about this the other day. The first CD, actually, when I was watching the Jimmy Allen, the first CD I ever put into my CD player in my car when I got my license was Country Grammar, Nelly. It was the first CD I ever put in my car, and I could still see that album cover. And I remember EI was number 8, and I remember Ride With Me was number 4. I remember that off-the-wall funky shit that makes no sense. But I can't remember the last shit I took.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
It's been a while.
Ocho, what's the first 8-track you put in your car?
Didn't have an 8-track in the car, so that's not
all right. What's the first?
However, Kiss Alive 2 was the first 8-track I ever played.
I did sing some interesting songs after the Friday Night Majors. You know, if I could... Everybody always says they wish like they can go back to their college years or their high school years as the best years of their life. Best years of my life was singing karaoke at Carolier after bowling on Friday.
Using trouble,
You're right.
Johnny.
That's okay.
Stephanie,
Steph,
I did call you today. I left you a voicemail and I said it's Ocho and you never called me back. So I don't know why she's mad at me.
And the day's not over yet.
Called her.
Oh, she was talking to you. Oh, shit. Never mind.
I actually called her, but that's because I'm considerate. I'm like you fucks.
No, you certainly are.
I left her a voicemail, I said.
That doesn't count.
I thought I was considerate for being unable to move and still doing the show with you.
Yeah, he's getting everybody at once. Nobody's getting voicemails for the next week.
It's funny because Ocho talked to Rochelle and she's like, "Yeah, Johnny's fucked up. He ain't moving, so I don't know if he's gonna do the show tonight." And I'm like, "All right." I'm talking to Ocho in a private text, and then I jump back to the group and like,
5 seconds later, he's like,
"5 seconds later, Johnny pops in and goes, I'm doing the show tonight. We should go live." I'm like, "Fuck! I just canceled it."
No, we gotta. We have viewers that actually enjoy speaking with us, man. So, and I actually enjoy doing this too, and it's a good way to break up a day that I can otherwise do nothing else. So
that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
Are you sleeping on the floor, or did you work your way to the bed somehow?
No, right now, well, I can crawl.
Sleeping is even a thing right now.
I can crawl onto the bed, but right now, for the sake of looking at the camera and not having to lean on anything, I have you guys hoisted up on a desk, and I'm laying on the floor. And I'm balancing the computer on a Drake's coffee cake just to give it enough elevation to see over the front. And then I'm going to eat the coffee cake.
Nice. You got priorities. That's good.
One day out of the gym, and he's already freaking eating a giant coffee cake. But Drake's is a good choice, though.
Drake's is a very good choice. Yes, I agree.
Although he's probably got Funny Bones and like Little Debbie snacks.
Oh my God, those are fantastic.
I'm a hostess guy, so that was my coffee cake of choice. Although Ocho would say, "I will eat anything," and that's not that's fair. But
I haven't said a word. What are you talking about?
I know, dude. Come on, I know you. You were thinking it. You just weren't going to say it.
No, usually I know you have stock in Entenmann's because that's what your freaking jam is. So,
dude, I used to eat the little fucking chocolate chip cookies like that big, and they still make them, and my daughter loves them. So it went
a box of Entenmann's soft baked cookies.
Yeah.
He's also a big golden layer cake with chocolate frosting too. That's his.
When my mother knows I'm coming home to Jersey, she buys 2 boxes of those, one for the family and one for me.
Nice.
And she also buys 2 marshmallow ice devil's food cakes. Those are both for me. Those are my 2 go-tos my entire life. And you can't get either of them out here in Vegas. They only have the milk chocolate soft baked cookies. They don't have the regular ones, so they're almost too sweet. It's really upsetting.
I'm sorry to hear that. I also like the little like fucking powdered sugar donuts, the donut holes.
Oh yeah. Those are pretty sensational. Also,
and the cinnamon ones are good too. What was I gonna say? Oh, if I'm going Little Debbie, I'm going zebra cakes all day.
Oh heck yeah, zebra cakes are the shit. I also love the Christmas trees at Christmas time.
Yes, and they're all pretty much the same. Like every season, they'll throw out the same fucking thing with different colors.
Nutty bars are the way to go with Little Debbie, but that's she fell out of my favor.
Now, are you do you bite into the entire Nutty bar, or do you actually pull it?
No, I flake it off. I want because there's like 20 there's like 8 layers in there, so I peel like a few off, and then eventually it starts to crumble. So you got to go, but and then I'll take it down. You know,
Kevin, if I could have a double Cali cheeseburger and a pork roll, egg and cheese from White Rose, and then immediately drive to the grease trucks and get a fat bitch, I'd be the happiest person on the planet right now. So I'm with you there.
Sounds like
I am getting. Now we got Swiss cake rolls and orange cupcakes. This has turned into the best show.
The Swiss rolls that's a good one. But the problem is the chocolate would always flake off.
True.
Yeah, that's true. But they're still fabulous.
I like oatmeal cream pies.
Those are great too.
Those
are great too.
Too sweet.
They'd be good without the cream, I feel like.
Is anybody here a Cosmic Brownie fan?
No.
Is that the one with the chocolate drizzling over it and everything? And
no, it's just it's like there's 2 in one.
You break them in half,
pack.
right?
Yeah, they got like the little tiny rainbow kisses on top.
Yeah, they're too sweet.
You're both losers.
Dude, there's no such thing as too sweet when it comes to dessert.
And I got a sweet
Sticky buns.
Too sweet.
Oh my God, the chocolate chip crumble. All right, now I actually may have to hit up Instacart and have all of these delivered.
Yeah, are we doing anything else here? Are we gonna should we? I'm at what's my Twitter?
For real. My main goal is again just interacting with everybody, bullshitting.
I'm okay with that. I just want to get our Twitter plugs in, so
I can talk food all night.
No traction on Twitter.
We can go for another 3 hours talking food with me. So.
Get your plugs in, but I'm here for as long as you guys want to be, and if we're ready to go, we're ready to go. We've been here for an hour.
I got a half hour. Ocho, what do you do?
I got Entenmann's to go eat.
What can we do right now that's like stupid, off the wall? What's something different? You got any quirky, quick ideas?
Top 5 cereals of all time. Go ahead, Rob.
Oh,
All right.
this is what you get on Straight Up 5. Top 5.
And then he fucking bounces.
See, you knew he was done. He was like, all right, that's it.
There it is. There we go.
No, I don't know.
Would
what
you
just
start eating the
happened
cake
there.
already? You start eating the cake, you fat son of a bitch?
No, it said, "Oops, you lost connection."
Oh, that was weird.
My
That's a Britney Spears
cholesterol's
song,
fine.
isn't it? Oops. I
Top
lost
5
connection.
cereals of all time.
Yeah.
In any particular order, or just your 5 favorites?
No. Gotta be top 5 to 1.
Oh
All
my
right.
god.
Hold on.
Well,
Hold on.
Shit.
Hold on.
If anybody else wants to add, please put your list on the. Oh, well, they've already started. Lovely.
Frosted Flakes. Captain Crunch. Regular Captain Crunch that tears up the roof of your mouth and gives you freaking sores on it and makes you freaking bleed. No, that's absurd,
does.
Kevin. We don't want that. If it's peanut butter, I'm okay with that. Because your choices don't count. What we say goes.
I like Cocoa Pebbles.
Is that your number 5, or are you just reading off what
I don't
you're
know.
saying?
I've got Cocoa Pebbles, Lucky Charms, Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Remember Golden Crisp?
Yes.
Super Golden Crisp. Soup used to be called Super Sugar Crisp.
I like Golden Crisp. And God, what would be my 5th? Probably, did I say Cinnamon Toast Crunch?
Yes. Golden Grahams should be in there then if you're going to do that.
I'm not into that. Jeez, what the hell would
no
be my
Frosted
5th?
Flakes or nothing? No Frosted
Nah,
Flakes?
too generic. My dad would say Corn Flakes and Corn Pops.
Of course.
It's so 75 years old.
Hold on. I have to do this.
Yes, you're doing something off the wall. I love it. Do it.
For old time's sake.
All right.
During the Roman era, thousands used to flood the Colosseum to watch 2 gladiators go head-to-head in a fight to the death. Now, the stakes are even higher. There can be only one top 5 champion.
There can be only one.
This is the RTW Top 5 Challenge.
That gives me a boner every time.
And full transparency,
very,
Rob
very
would,
interesting.
but he would always drool when it said 2 steaks.
You're an
In the
asshole.
middle of it, he would always be like, "Oh man," and then we'd have to reshoot the damn video.
So on RTW, we used to do a top 5 like comedy skit every week, but I had to dust that.
It wasn't
intro
comedy; it was a skit.
off. That's fair. That's fair. My top 5 cereals. Number
I
5.
like John Sperone's, by the way.
Where we
Yes,
at?
I was gonna say number 5. Captain Crunch was Crunch Berries. I don't like the
Nice.
original. It's got to have Crunch Berries.
Nice.
Number 4, Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Number 3, Fruit Loops. Number 2, oh god, what the fuck?
What kind of 2 is that? What are you doing?
Yeah, he's
2?
his bowling
Two?
finger. He hasn't
2?
bowled in a while.
2.
You do 2 like this?
I was just counting from 5. I don't know. Just fucking number 2. Number 2, Cookie Crisp, and number 1, Frosted Flakes.
Nice. I never enjoyed Frosted Flakes as much as I should because I am a milk drinker when I'm done. I cannot wait to chug the milk when I'm done. And Frosted Flakes, no matter how many times I go in with the spoon for the last
that's
flake,
nothing.
there's like fucking 8 more. There's 8 more. I'm like, just get out
they
of here.
absorb, They like you put
I
like
agree.
20 flakes in and it turns into like 8,000.
I
They're like
absolutely,
gremlins.
I agree. My wife is the opposite. She puts the least amount of milk I've ever seen. She doesn't like to drink the milk at the end. So
I'm the
she
same
doesn't-
way. And I use
really,
almond
no,
milk.
I'm a Johnny. I'm a team milk guy, man.
I like a mound of cereal where you can barely see the milk.
I would get chocolate cereal just to drink the chocolate milk at the end.
Right.
I'm not- I'm not a big
that's
fan
why
of
Cocoa Pebbles
Cocoa
was number
Pebbles,
1.
yeah, or
Yeah.
Cocoa Krispies, yeah, the same shit.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
now there's so
Cocoa-
many different kinds, and everything has fucking marshmallows. Like I used to love Lucky Charms just because they had marshmallows, but now they got marshmallows and Fruit Loops and Apple Jacks and Frosted
Doesn't
Flakes
matter.
and-
That's my number
Count
one.
Chocula.
Oh, Fruity Pebbles.
So-
How the fuck can I forget Fruity Pebbles? I'm a big Fruity Pebble guy.
Fruity Pebbles was my number 3 actually.
Yeah.
You guys don't know shit.
I might have to throw Apple Jacks in there for me too,
Apple Jacks are
just
good,
because
yes.
it's a different milk taste. You know, when it's all done.
And Cinnamon
They
Toast
change-
Crunch is
Yeah,
She's
Cinnamon
good.
Toast Crunch is made out of stuff that they also make bleach out of. It's a triphosphatate. So
Yeah, well,
you
what do they
guys
use
keep
on Crispix? Remember Crispix? Were like, oh, it stays crunchy in milk. Well, what kind of fucking
for the
lacquer do they
crisp
put
of
on that?
Crispix, Kellogg's Crispix, a crisp that'll make you flip. Corn on this side, rice on the flip side of crisp. You're gonna taste your lips.
Steph, tell
For
you,
the
tell you,
crisp of Crispix.
Steph, tell your friend to never tune into the show.
Ever.
What does that say? He put water in his cereal?
Instead of milk, and no, he's not lactose intolerant.
Was it oatmeal? I mean, that makes sense a little bit. I mean,
Doesn't sound like it. I think she may have put oatmeal.
If you want,
well, they call it hot
cereal,
cereal. I don't know. We don't know who's watching these shows.
if you run out of milk and you really want cereal, you gotta do something, right? I mean, it's better than beer, I guess.
Yeah, eat it by itself or go get milk.
I can't eat dry cereal. See, I wouldn't eat it at all. I can't eat dry cereal.
My dad, ironically, my dad used to the number one snack he always has in his car for his cross country drives is dry corn pops. He has a box of corn pops, eats them by himself. I'm like, this is just idiotic.
That could be because they're big enough. It's like, yeah, I could see that.
The only dry cereal I like are
better that than Rice Krispies. Imagine him trying to eat them like.
Oh, God, no.
My mother used to make Rice Krispies. She'd throw a little sugar in there, and then she'd slice up a banana. I enjoyed Rice Krispies like that.
I'd always have to put sugar in Rice Krispies. I can't eat cereal without sugar. So if it was like Corn Flakes, if we didn't have any Frosted Flakes or Rice Krispies, there was a half a fucking cup of sugar in it at least.
That blows my mind, Rob.
Shut the fuck up, Ouch.
I'm just saying.
Oh, I can't.
I used to love scraping the bottom to get that extra fucking taste of sugar. I'm telling you.
And it'd be sugar and milk, and literally you'd see it form up on the spoon, and you'd be like, "Oh,
Doc,
there's still more."
Doc, I have a doctor question. Every time I laugh that hard, my back does this. Is that normal?
It's normal for what you have. It's not normal for a normal person.
Okay.
It's literally normal where if you laugh, cough, or sneeze or bear down, you're gonna get that, and you're gonna go, "Damn, I better not do that for a while."
I'm going to try not to laugh at your fantastic jokes then.
Well, that's why I should go then. That's a good point.
Is there any cereal that you guys absolutely hate? Like could never ever eat? You think it's disgusting?
Yeah.
Johnny.
Raisin Bran.
Really?
Raisin Bran I'm not a fan of. Grape Nuts.
Oh yeah, I got you.
I've never had them in my entire life.
I don't like Crispix. I don't like anything that's just fucking bland, man. I don't
like Chex or any of that shit either.
Nah, although I do like Chex has cinnamon Chex or honey nut.
Well, if you get the flavor.
Well, regular Chex is right up there with regular Crispix to me.
I never had them. So that's smart.
It's cardboardish. It's nothing fantastic, but no, I like if I'm gonna eat cereal, which is already not good for me. I want to eat a cereal that's like not good for me and
awfully good for me. Yeah, I'm gonna take it all the way. I got you.
Like, oh well, why don't you eat Honey Bunches of Oats, or it's high in this, it's high. Yeah, it's also high in shit, guys. It's fucking cereal. It's not good for you. I mean, you want a little extra carbs for the gym? Fine, have oatmeal instead. At least those are real carbs, or something like that, and no sugar. But Jesus, Christmas, this. If I'm gonna eat cereal, I'm eating
cinnamon and spice oatmeal and freaking maple and brown sugar.
Maple and brown sugar oatmeal, I do eat that religiously, and blueberry muffins.
I chuck cinnamon granola in it. Oh man, that's so
big fat scoop of peanut butter. Oh yeah,
it's wicked awesome.
And when I was
don't
a kid,
go to the gym.
When I was a kid, my grandparents lived next door to me, and I used to go over there. I think it must have been 5 or 6, and they're old as fuck. So the only cereal they had was 100% bran. And I put some sugar in it and I ate it. And man, I was fucking regular.
My grandmother had Product 19 all the time or Total. And that was my shit.
Total too. Yeah.
That's another shit. That's another shit cereal.
Yeah. It was like, Total. You know what? I'm hungry though. Like I'd eat something.
John Sprouse is like eating rice cakes. That's true.
Exactly. Just can't do it. I mean, even at least Jay Cutler, when he eats rice cakes, he puts a packet of Splenda on it and douses it in cinnamon.
I'd have jelly all over it, man.
Tastes good. Or jelly, cream cheese and jelly, something. But yeah, I mean, if I'm eating a cereal, give me something that's like decadent. Give me something that's horrible for me. That's what I want.
You're gonna burn it off anyway. It's the beginning of the day. Get something in your body for Christ's sakes.
Absolutely. I don't want to get too off track if anybody's actually still listening to whatever this bowling show has turned into.
No one's listening.
Nobody's
but I do want to say that I do miss my boy Mike, and happy birthday, bro. And rather than throwing you a heartfelt message on your actual page. I figured having everybody here tonight and sharing their stories, I figured you could probably hear this from heaven a little bit better than you could read my messages later. So I will be like Brian Shaw and drink chicken shakes at some point in my life. I haven't gotten there yet. Right now,
What the fuck is a chicken shake?
It's the world's strongest man.
Brian
right
Shaw is
there,
the world's
dude.
strongest man. He's like 6'8", 400 pounds.
Dude, he eats like 18,000 calories a day and forces shit down his throat just to maintain. Yeah. It's fucking crazy.
Like when I wanna gain weight, like let's say I'm training really hard and I'm trying to build a little bit of mass. In the morning, I'll have 2 packets of oatmeal, which is a cup of oatmeal, and then I make a 10-ounce protein shake. I do 10 ounces of milk. I do use milk, and then 44 grams or 2 scoops of an isolate protein. When I want to get bigger and gain more weight, I go to 6 ounces of milk, and then I add 2 cups of liquid egg whites. And then I'll have that mixed in with the protein powder to get the extra. He's doing chicken shakes because in order to meet the caloric needs for his body to continue to build mass,
he can't eat that much protein. He actually has to drink some of it.
You can't digest. Your body won't digest. Oh, correct me if I'm wrong, but your body can't process that much protein. It takes longer to digest the protein, and especially in one sitting. Yep. So he's doing that simply so he can digest the nutrients that his body craves for what he does for a living.
Here's what I say to that.
I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
That's
okay, a simple no would have done just fine. Yeah, Thanks for the Billy Madison reference.
Yes.
You sit on a throne of lies.
I know him!
Elf, yeah. Very, very good.
You're killing me, Smalls.
Man, that one's tough.
Sandlot.
Benny Rodriguez and Scott Smalls and Hamilton Porter.
You ever see that clip with Yaya, who was like all jacked up in like Japan and tried to start a fight with a reporter?
No.
And he was like, "I'm Yaya from Sandlot. Fuck you. I'll kick your ass, motherfucker." And he's like showing his abs. He's all fucking tweaked out, like he's juiced up, like worse than the theme from Rocky 3.
No, it's not.
That's Karate Kid.
It was supposed to. See, that's because you guys are you guys don't know shit. That was supposed to be the theme.
You could have said it was supposed to be Rocky.
I'm fixing to. Well, you should have known better. Because
that's a movie. Thanks for hanging out and listening to our nonsense for the last half hour.
Yes, thank you, John. Appreciate it.
Yeah, follow me on Twitter. Where?
At the DRO Show. Follow Johnny at Johnny. What the fuck? No, at JPJR07. I am at Rad Rob Gaming. We do appreciate you guys hanging out tonight and dealing with our silliness as well as Johnny's sadness with his injury and with his loss of his best friend. His best friend's birthday today.
Well, the injury's temporary. That's all.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
And at this point, I've been laying in this position for an hour and 13 minutes, and I'm a little scared to get up because the only support I have is a pillow. But yeah, I think it's time for me to get up too and say goodbye as well.
That's fair. That's fair. All right, guys. We appreciate you hanging out. We will see you next week. Hopefully. I mean, we should be here. I mean, you got to kill Johnny to keep him out of here. So that's
come back.
That's a good thing. Hold on. Is Rochelle there? She needs to make an appearance before we sign off.
She said she wants nothing to do with you guys tonight.
No, I'm saying hi.
That's
not you saying hi. I talked to you before. You say hi way different.
I'm going to turn it towards you to say hi?
No.
She doesn't want to say hi.
I just want to know if you need help getting up.
She wants to know if I need help getting up. This is why we need to start the GoFundMe.
Let's keep it on the show until we're not hanging up.
You want to give us the information for the GoFundMe? We mentioned it earlier.
Stop saying that.
Okay, never mind. But I am going to go and I am going to use her assistance.
Can we watch her lift you up? That would be the best.
You cannot watch her lift me up. It's good. A treat for another day.
We need to start a Patreon or OnlyFans or something. I don't know.
The government cheese is in the mail.
I'll talk to her about it.
All right, guys. We'll see you next week. Thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you next time.